Hey guys, how you doing? And welcome. Today we have no background music because I just wanted to focus more on the what if that I'm doing today, and that is what if Naruto was like Mikey, who, if you don't know who Mikey is a character from a TV series, or not a TV series, an anime series called Tokyo Revengers, one of the newer spring anime, and I really enjoy it. Can't wait for the next episode to come out. But essentially, what does that mean? It means he sort of acts like Mikey. I'm gonna be adding some like personality traits of Draken, who is like Mikey's right hand man. I don't suggest watching this video if you um haven't seen the show, but like I also do because I want you guys to come back to me because like I know I haven't made a video in a long time. It's just been crazy. So yeah, the God is back, and hopefully I'm here to stay. So without further ado, Mikey's personality. Mikey is sort of like he's like an Orochimaru type, right? But not really. He always keeps a solid face, and it's just like a poker face, unless he's like talking about his friends or something. He's talking to his friends or something. He's smiling, and then he gets like really angry when you like fuck with his friends. He's also very sarcastic and charismatic. Things of that nature. Also, he is very physically strong and adept at fighting. Probably one of the best fighters in the show, in my opinion. And then we have who Draken is sort of like the silent type. Draken only says words if words are needed. He's also like Mikey's sort of bodyguard because I believe one episode in the series, someone didn't bow low enough to Mikey and Draken fucking kicked him. It, it's amazing. Please watch the show. Um, Draken also has the tattoo on the side of his head. And yeah, pretty much. What else can I say about Draken? Draken is like really like supportive, right? Cause like let's say Naruto and Sasuke were like best friends, right? And um Sasuke would just like fall asleep somewhere in public. Naruto would like carry him just like all the way home, or like if he got hurt, he can get carried to the doctor's office, right? So that's sort of their personality. He's also very adept at fighting. He's very strong, and he's also very tall. Um, so versus Mikey's sort of short man complex. Um, we're actually gonna just make can Naruto taller, right? So his hair has also changed. He has Mikey's hair, and so has his outfit. Instead of wearing that orange jacket like he does in the original, he like wears it over his shoulders and just has like a black shirt on the inside. Still wearing his pants like he would normally. He also has Mikey sort of like dead expression eyes. But other than that, he's still completely Naruto. He has the whiskers, smiles. Also, his eyes are still like the same color, but the expression on them is just like flat and like just dead. So, Naruto being, the new Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, this starts at like the Nine Tails attack. Um, Again, Obito goes to steal the child. Naruto goes to steal the child of prophecy. Um, yeah, Naruto. And gets pieced up by Minato, and he decides that um both of them don't need to die. So he seals um he seals some of the Nine Tails himself. He seals some within Kushina, and he seals some within Naruto. So um they all sort of they all survive. Minato was kind of in like critical condition for a while. By the time we get Naruto in the anime, or where we jump to the point in the anime, Minato will be back in action. So both of his parents actually survive, but this is going to be different from the what if Naruto knew Minato was his dad, because Naruto, the what if Naruto knew Minato was his dad is different because it's like knowing Minato was his dad, but growing up without a father figure the father figure that is Minato, and so it's not it wouldn't be the same. Like he wouldn't have the same experiences. He wouldn't have the same drive to um like if you watch the last video, he learned to find Raijin, and he's completely mastered it. So like saying that he wouldn't be as eager, but he would still be eager because he would want to be strong, right? So um I do think this version of Naruto versus the version of Naruto and what if he knew Minato was his dad would be stronger objectively, I guess. Um, so that's also this is another good song. I'm probably gonna be dropping part two to this also today because I actually like this idea. So if you guys support the channel, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell, and don't forget to enjoy. This is gonna be a real long video because I realize I make shorter what if videos than most average what if YouTubers. Um, a lot of them be going like for hours, and I wish I had the time and energy to do that. But honestly, I mean, I do have the time because it's like fucking summer, right? But considering that our power goes out constantly because of the terrible raining in the background, if you listen closely, you'll be able to hear like the thunder and just like the boom, boom, and in the background. So I mean, I can still record with power out because like I'm recording on my phone right now. So it's like it's not really um it doesn't affect it too much. But when the power goes out, because like my family comes in my room when the power goes out because of like togetherness or whatever. But yeah, that's what it is. And so when Naruto is at the age where he is canon Naruto, he is a delinquent, but he isn't. He's more of like, oh my god, he's a bad boy. He, ooh, woo, rar XD. He's more of that. He's a delinquent, but he's not annoying. I mean, to the authorities of the village, I guess you could say he is annoying, but like other than that, to everyone else, he's a pretty nice guy, and he also doesn't get bullied, and just like um turned down just because he's the Jinchuriki. Uh, but at this time, Minato and Kushina were all having another child, and thought that one of them could get rid like of the nine tails inside of themselves and give it to the child. And he was like, Kushina, I believe like you should have a part of the nine tails because I don't like if you're in trouble, then he'll be able to help you because at this point Minato has talked to Kurama multiple times, and he actually has a good relationship with Kurama to where he's not trying to constantly take over Naruto's body. However, um, if Naruto does find some way to piss him off, which he probably won't in this what if, he will take over his body. And I don't think he'll attack the village, but the Naruto as we know him will probably be dead on the inside at least. So without further ado, so the anime starts with the first scene of Naruto painting the Hokage statue. He does that, but in this timeline, he doesn't he doesn't paint onto Hokage's faces. So he only paints on first and second. Actually, no, he only I said first and second, third and fourth. His dad and old man third, because he has sort of respect for the first two Hokages. But he painted the most on fourth Hokage, but he didn't paint that much on third Hokage because he still had some more. He had more respect for third Hokage than he did his own dad because third Hokage was sort of a delinquent, just like him. So it seems like they had sort of a connection. So if he saw old man third walking around, he'll just be like, "Oh hey, so Sadatobi, or was it? No, it's Harrison." He'd be like, "Hey Harrison," or he would call him like Uncle Harrison or something like that, something of that nature. Maybe like Grandpa Harrison, just like something Harrison, and he would see like the third guy. He'll look at Naruto and he'll see his wife and just be like sad face. But hey, that's the point right now. Now, Naruto is enrolled in academy, and this time he has been more open. He's been open to his parents about his lack of chakra control, and Minato himself helps Naruto with that sort of stuff because he's literally the fastest thing alive right now. So, being that, so um, he had time to teach Naruto and do his duties as the Hokage. Minato was sort of like the irresponsible Hokage because he valued family. I mean, no, he valued the village over his family, but he still needed time to spend with his family. Like that's not what I meant. Like he values them the same, but like he knew if it came down to it, his family would probably want him to choose like the village over them, be like save the village, and yeah. But anyways, so Naruto's in the academy. At this point, he already knows the Shadow Clone. He knows partially the Flying Raijin. He knows Flying Raijin, like in the sense that the second Hokage did. He wasn't no Yellow Flash. Oh, also, um, um, Naruto's hair, instead of being yellow or like blonde as it is in canon, he would have red hair. So it wouldn't be like bright red. It would be like darkish, like maroon red. So he would be so his eyes would be blue. He had darkish maroon hair, and his hair would also be longer, like Mikey's, who you'll probably see in the thumbnail. I don't wanna. No. Anyways, let's keep going. So, it's always been a competition as to who's better, but like at this point in time, Naruto is clearly better than what Sasuke is because Sasuke in his timeline still, like he still has like he has his family, um, up until like it took longer for Itachi to massacre the Uchiha clan because of the Yellow Flash, and Minato has like a flying Raijin seal at like almost every compound, so he could literally use it to just teleport to the Uchiha clan compound. So what he did is, as an Anbu, he reported to Danzo, and Danzo reported to Minato, and Minato went to go deal with an issue, saying it was like missing men, um, that were like above their level, and then Minato was like, "Fine, if you really need me to," and so Minato go, and it's like very far. It's almost in like what is it called? We're in the land of fire, so it's almost in like the land of wind, which is like really far. So um no one can inform him about what's happening because they don't have sort of they don't have um phones, right? They don't have phones. They do have these communicators, but Minato believes too much in his speed, and that's where he gets caught up because you also need communication. But he just got a little too cocky, and that night, there they were. Minato tried to teleport back, but the only thing he seen was Itachi standing on the fucking what is it called, electrical post in front of the moon. He couldn't do anything about it, and so Itachi left with this like he dispatched into crows, and Minato just looked in shock and fear, and he went in looking for any survivors. He went in looking for any Uchiha, and to ask them what he was doing, but he realized that they were all dead. His hands were shaking because he's never seen a massacre like this, on at least on this scale. So because everyone was dead, he went from house to house, slamming doors, opening them, sometimes even breaking them, just trying to find any survivors. And then he finds this boy. He finds him crying, and he said, "Hey, hey, hey, kid, what's your name?" And Sasuke is just like terrified. He's just like, "Oh no, it's my turn to die." But then he said, "Hey, kid," and then Sasuke looks up to see it's the fourth Hokage, and he's like, but he's still crying. He's just like he gasped, and so when he gasped, he was like, "My name is Sasuke Uchiha," and he was like, "Sasuke Uchiha, how'd you like to come with me?" And so he he leaves like he takes Sasuke away from the Uchiha compound, and now Sasuke is in the same sort of living situation that Naruto was in canon. Naruto would see Sasuke around, like he would go with his dad to give Sasuke his like money for like the month or like by the week, however they do it in the Naruto verse. But yeah, he comes in like every week or month to give him his like money for like rent and stuff, rent, food, other stuff. And Sasuke is grateful to the Hokage, but every time he sees Naruto, Naruto's just like just has this sort of like blank stare, like just like dead inside stare, and just walks away. And he was curious about Naruto. So when they were in the academy together, he would go over to talk to Naruto, and everyone was like, and all the girls were like, "Oh, the two cutest guys in the school are friends." It's just like, oh, overload. So Sasuke says, "Hi, I see you with Lord Fourth all the time. Who are you?" And he says, "Oh, you must not know." Can't blame you. The Uchiha don't like us very much. And then he tells him that he's the son of the fourth Hokage. I'm the son of the fourth Hokage, Naruto Namikaze. And when when he says it, like when he says this, am I stupid? When he says this, Sasuke looks in shock, right? And then Naruto's like, "But you can just call me Mikey, because yeah, yeah." He's like, "Yeah, but you can just call me." No, 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 no. I'm not gonna use Mikey. He'd be like, "Yeah, but you can just call me Uto, cause Naruto. Yeah, you can just call me Uto." And he was like, "Uto." He was like, "Uto Kun." He was like, "Yeah." And then Naruto smiled at him. His eyes still seemed like a deadpan stare, but he was smiling, like it was like a real smile. So it was still like deadpan. His eyes were closed while he smiled, but like his eyes were just always this deadpan expression. So and he smiled, he was like, "Nice to meet you, Sasuke." I'm gonna have to think of a nickname for you. Mm. No, Uchiha. And then he's just thinking, and then he was like, oh yeah, Chia-san. I'm gonna call you Chia-san. And so, he's like, what? I didn't ask Chia-san. And then Sasuke just immediately felt this just like presence overlay over him. He was like, yeah, Chia-san. And then so Chia-kun, I said son. He's like, yeah, Chia-kun. Anyway, uh, but then he doesn't actually. Oh, no, I dropped something. He doesn't actually call him by this. He just did this to like make. He just did this to like see what he would do to just like protest against him and Naruto. Like he just now he just knows that like no one would protest against him. So he's just like, how boring. But he still takes an interest in Sasuke. It's when Naruto on the Anime Academy, yeah, like I said earlier, it's just like a competition. Everybody just like it's like these are the two strongest people, and they're just like fighting over the spot at the top. Of course, Naruto never really had any competition. Um, he was just body all his competition, so it was really kind of nothing to him. But it was still nice for people to compare. My dad came in my room. Sorry, I can't talk. My dad came in my room. As you can hear, this guy's in the shower, but I still have to get this video out. So, I'm gonna continue recording. This is gonna be like a 30-minute video. I don't know who I think I am recording the video for this long, but anyways, he he still think it's like nice for people. He thinks it's nice for people to like think he has competition. So when he shows him his true power, he's just like no one is in his league, and so Naruto just has Sasuke as sort of his best friend, but he's also like more of a like I wouldn't say bodyguard, but like an advisor. Sasuke does fight battles that Naruto feel like it just not worth his time, and Sasuke is sort of like his sidekick or his like lackey. And so the ship for this is going to be um Naru no Naru Ino. There we go. Naru Ino. And I know that I did this ship a lot. Actually, no. It might change depending on how I view or like how I want to do the story. But yeah. So I guess for now, it's Naru Ino, and so Naruto, um, his chakra natures are he actually has all of them except for Earth, which Kakashi does have. So that's the only really upper hand Kakashi has on Naruto, because Naruto, just like Kakashi, can copy jutsu, because Kakashi has taught him to like sort of observe and watch. So he knows how to copy jutsu even without a Sharingan. He his eyes are precise enough to copy jutsu, but if it's too complex, it just like fades away, right? And so when when blah, blah, blah. When it comes time for him and Sasuke to spar, Naruto completely wipes the floor with Sasuke, even like making his face like bleed, his like head bleed, and just blood on his face, just kicking him, beating him, and everyone was like, "This is kind of brutal." And so he picks up Sasuke by his skull, and he smiled, and he was like, "We're still friends, right?" And then Sasuke smiles at him because they get into fights like this all the time. This is like the first time they fought in front of like more people, because usually they're fighting in front of Kakashi or Minato, so it normally doesn't go too far. And even now they're fighting against Aruka. I mean, they're fighting in front of Aruka, so it won't go. It goes farther than what it does when they're fighting in front of Kakashi or Minato, but it doesn't go too far to where it's like, hold up, this is kind of, can we get him out of the ring sort of thing. So like, okay. So anyways, um, the clone test happens as usual, but Naruto just sits in the forest alone to just like celebrate sort of, and of course Sasuke was with him because that's like his lackey. He just follows him around. So um, Naruto and Sasuke are just sitting in the forest, and Mizuki's like, heard about um you graduating, and they were like, yeah. Naruto immediately knew Mizuki was on his bullshit, so he was like, what do you want? He was like, well, I got some news. And he's like, huh? He's like, I heard you two like being ahead. And he was like, yeah, what about it? He tells them that if they steal the scroll of sealing, they can become Chunin right now, and they don't have to take the Chunin exams. And then Naruto's like, ooh, that sounds like a good offer. He's even smiling, but he just looks evil. And Sasuke holds his hand out in front of Naruto, and Naruto's like, huh? And um, he's like, wait a second. And then Mizuki tells him, all you have to do is bring it to me. And then they were like, and they did it because they had a sneaking suspicion about Mizuki. So what they did is that they had the sneaking suspicion. So what they did is that they they like went and got the scroll, and when Mizuki came to collect it from them, they decided to jump him, right? And so when Mizuki when Mizuki arrives, Sasuke is no longer there. He's sort of like hiding in the shadows, and Mizuki, he was like, where'd your friend go? And he was like, oh, he went home. And Naruto's just looking at the scroll because at this point, um, he needed. He also needed to learn some more jutsu, but he's gonna cover that up with the fact that he he um was trying to take down Mizuki. So he found a huh, he found a couple of jutsus that he would like to use. One was Great Fireball, which is sort of a basic technique, but it's on. No, what is it called? It's the giant fireball that Madara used. It's that one. But he that's like his ultimate final like technique. And then he uses the water jutsu that third Hokage. No, I don't think third Hokage used it. What is it called? Severing wave, where he just shoots the beam of water out his mouth. He can use that one, and he can also use um. What's the last one I was gonna give him? Fuck. Lightning Beast Hunting Fang is that what it's called? Lightning Beast Hunting Fang. Yeah, he can use that as well. So, Sasuke also now knows Madara's fireball, but it takes so much more of a toll on Sasuke to do the great fireball since he doesn't have as large of a chakra pool as Naruto does, and he has a much larger one than in canon, um, due to the fact that now he knows how to control it and he knows how to limit it. He knows how to limit like how much chakra he puts into like one attack, or like how much chakra he puts into like a clone or something. So he knows more about using chakra. And so what happens is Sasuke comes from behind Mizuki, cutting the giant shuriken off of his back with some kunai. Like with a kunai, he throws it and chops the rope, and the kunais fall. And Mizuki hears them hit the ground. He's like, "Huh?" And then he sees Sasuke rearing up like for a fireball, and he also sees Naruto rearing up for a fireball. And while rearing up for the fireball, they both fire, and it's both just giant, massive flames. And all you could see from like the common area of the village is just this big explosion that almost engulfs half the forest. It doesn't like destroy it like sort of like a meteor would, but it's just like the shockwave of the explosion covers almost half the forest because it's just this giant like just like explosion just that just like came out of nowhere. And so it was like, hey, what are you guys doing? And then it was the third Okage. He's like, what are you guys doing? We were celebrating in the forest with some quiet time after we graduated, and Mizuki tried to get us to steal the scroll of sealing for him. Um, he tried to get us to steal the scroll of sealing for him by telling us we could skip um, being Guinea, going straight to tuning, if we stole the scroll of stealing. And they said they both knew it was a lie and they had their suspicions. So what they did is they stole it and they lured him into a trap. And Mizuki was just laying there, charcoal, burnt up. Like they literally killed a man, and they were not like regretful about it. They did not. Um, I think that's one thing that he didn't get from Mikey. Mikey does not support like people killing each other. If you have beef, you have to scrap. So that's like one thing with Mikey. Um, because I don't think Mikey has killed anyone yet. He just beat their ass really badly. So, and he tells them we took we sorry that we opened it. We learned the jutsu out of it. He was like, oh, and then he's like, and then he looks. Naruto wrote it on a piece of paper. He wrote like notes on how to do the jutsus, and so he showed it to the Hokage, and he was like, "Y'all learned Madara's fireball." He was like, "Oh, that's what his name." I called him Madara, and he was like, "Kid, do you know how advanced this jutsu is for someone your age?" He was like, "No, it was pretty easy." And then Sasuke also agrees because Sasuke, having been trained with Naruto, Kakashi, and Minato, he knows that like it was pretty easy for him as well. Minato doesn't have the fire nature, so he couldn't learn it. And just Sasuke, Kakashi never really thought about stealing the scroll or stealing to learn it, because if those two problems were like solved, they would easily know it as well. And it's just shocked that they're Hokage. He's like, even I have trouble learning this jutsu. And so he was like, I hereby promote you guys to Chunin. And Naruto and Sasuke are like, no, no, thank you. And he was like, what? He's like, we want to earn it. We want to show everyone that we're strong. And then their Hokage was like, you remind me of someone. And he thinks about Minato, but he also thinks about himself and even Jiraiya. I mean, not Jiraiya. Yeah. He even Jiraiya, because when he was a kid, he came back and he knew Sage Mode. So like, yeah, even fucking Jiraiya. Um, so um, what is it? Uh, now, um, actually, that's where I'm gonna end it. I was saying so much because I was debating to myself whether I should continue. But no, I'm gonna end it now. This is a 32-minute video, guys. It's probably longer. Who knows? Probably like around 33 or 34, right? So, yeah. Um, yeah. I hope you guys enjoy. Peace.